I'm going inside the club and my phone rings. Hello? Hey, Randy, it's Coach Belichick. And what?
I said, "It's Bill Belichick with the Patriots." He goes, "What?" And hung up the phone. Like, well, maybe he doesn't want to come to New England. So then I called him again.
Hello? Randy, this is Coach Belichick. And I'm sitting there like, man, who the hell keeps playing on my phone?
And he's like, "All right, now who is this? Like, this is a prank." And so I go, no, this is Bill Belichick, and we've traded for you.
He cut straight to the chase. He said, look, man, if you're not up here by 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, no trade. And I'm like, oh, I just hung up on Bill.
There will never be another Randy Moss. Picture this. It's 2007. A 6'4" receiver joins the New England Patriots after 2 years in Oakland, where everyone said he was washed up, done, finished. The league had written him off. Then he catches 23 touchdowns in a single season, breaking Jerry Rice's record. The Patriots go 16-0. Perfection. Tom Brady throws 50 touchdowns. The greatest offense in NFL history. But there's something darker beneath the surface, something tragic, because Randy Moss, the most physically gifted receiver to ever play the game, would never win a championship. 2 Super Bowls, 2 heartbreaking losses. There will never be another Randy Moss. Chapter 1, The Rise, the Kid from Rand. Randy Gene Moss was born February 13, 1977 in Rand, West Virginia, a tiny town where dreams don't usually come true. But Randy wasn't ordinary. At DuPont High School, he wasn't just a football player, he was an athlete. Basketball, baseball, track. The kid could do everything. On the football field, he led the DuPont Panthers to back-to-back state championships in 1992 and 1993. He was West Virginia High School Football Player of the Year in 1994. He was also the State Basketball Player of the Year in 1994 and 1995. The kid was superhuman. But here's where the story gets dark. The fall before the rise. Randy signed with his dream school, Notre Dame, the Golden Dome, his ticket out. But on March 23, 1995, during his senior year at DuPont High School, everything changed. A white student had allegedly written racist remarks about black people on the desk of Moss's girlfriend, who was white and with whom he had a child. In a hallway at school, Moss backed up a friend in a fight against that student. The confrontation turned violent. Moss kicked the student, who ended up hospitalized with a concussion and a lacerated spleen. Moss was initially charged with a felony, later reduced to misdemeanor battery. On August 1, 1995, he pleaded guilty to 2 counts of misdemeanor battery and was sentenced to 30 days in jail at the South Central Regional Jail in Charleston, West Virginia. He served 3 days immediately and would have to serve the remaining 27 days within 18 months. He was expelled from DuPont High and had to complete his education at Cabell Alternative School. Notre Dame revoked his admission, so he went to Florida State. Bobby Bowden, national championship contender. Lou Holtz, his former Notre Dame coach, had called Bowden personally and told him Randy was the best he'd ever seen. But because he'd signed with Notre Dame first, the NCAA ruled him a transfer. He'd have to redshirt. Then, while serving his remaining jail sentence in a work release program, Moss tested positive for marijuana. He spent an additional 60 days in jail for the probation violation. Bowden revoked his scholarship. Moss was dismissed from Florida State. 2 schools, 2 failures. At 18 years old, Randy Moss's football career should have been over. But then came Marshall, redemption and domination. Marshall University, about an hour from home. Division 1AA, not the bright lights, but it was a chance. Head coach Bob Pruitt saw something in this kid. Raw talent mixed with desperation. 1996 season, Moss's freshman year. The Thundering Herd went 15-0, undefeated, national champions. And Moss, he caught 78 passes for 1,709 yards and 28 touchdowns, tying Jerry Rice's 1984 record. He set the NCAA Division 1AA freshman receiving record, a record that still stands today. He led all of Division 1AA in kickoff returns with 612 yards and a 34.0-yard average. In the 1996 FCS championship game against Montana, Moss caught 4 touchdowns, setting a single-game playoff record. Color analyst Gary Danielson said it during the broadcast. Let's be honest here. Randy Moss is just a better football player than anybody on the field for Montana. 1997, Marshall moves to Division 1A, the big leagues. First year, and what does Moss do? He catches 96 passes for 1,820 yards and 26 touchdowns, a Division 1A record at the time. He won the Biletnikoff Award as the nation's top receiver. He finished 4th in Heisman Trophy voting. He was a unanimous All-American. In 2 seasons, Moss caught 174 passes for 3,529 yards and 54 touchdowns. He scored a touchdown in all 28 games he played. Marshall went 25-3 with him on the field. And then came the 1998 NFL Draft. Draft day, the league's biggest mistake. 20 teams passed on Randy Moss. Why? The off-field issues, the marijuana, the arrests. Teams were scared. The Dallas Cowboys wanted him, until Michael Irvin's own legal troubles made the franchise gun-shy. Jerry Jones later said passing on Moss was one of his biggest regrets. Pick after pick, Moss sat there, waiting. Finally, at pick 21, the Minnesota Vikings pulled the trigger.
The Minnesota Vikings have selected wide receiver from Marshall University, Randy Moss.
Dennis Green, the coach who wouldn't be scared, drafted Randy Moss. The rest of the NFL would regret it for 14 years. The rookie explosion. September 6, 1998. Moss's first NFL game, Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the Notre Dome. 4 receptions, 95 yards, 2 touchdowns, including a 48-yard bomb and a 31-yard strike. Welcome to the NFL. What happened next was historic. Moss destroyed the league week after week, burning cornerbacks, making impossible catches. The Vikings' offense became unstoppable. November 26, 1998, Thanksgiving Day in Dallas. Randy Moss had something to prove to the Cowboys, the team that passed on him. 3 catches, 3 touchdowns, 163 yards, a 51-yard score, a 56-yard score, another 56-yard bomb. Yards per catch, 54.3. Current Vikings head coach Mike Zimmer was the Cowboys' defensive coordinator that game. Years later, he admitted that was one of the worst days. The size and length that he had was unbelievable. It made it really difficult because you had to double-team him on every play. October 5th, 1998, Monday Night Football against Green Bay at Lambeau Field. 5 catches, 190 yards, 2 touchdowns, a 37-24 Vikings victory. The Packers drafted defensive backs with their first 3 picks in the next draft because of Randy Moss. By season's end, the numbers were absurd. 69 catches, 1,313 yards, 17 touchdowns. A rookie record that still stands. He averaged 35.6 yards per touchdown. The Vikings went 15-1 and scored 556 points, a then NFL record. Moss won NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year, first-team All-Pro as a rookie, Pro Bowl, 3rd in MVP voting. But in the NFC Championship game, the Atlanta Falcons shocked Minnesota 30-27 in overtime. Gary Anderson, who hadn't missed a field goal all season, missed. The dream died. Moss had arrived, but the championship would remain elusive. Chapter 2, The Dominance. The term was coined. You got mossed. That's what they called it when a receiver would leap over a defensive back, pin the ball against the defender's helmet or body, and come down with the catch. No receiver had ever dominated physically like Randy Moss. 6'4", 210 pounds, 4.25 to 4.3 second 40-yard dash, 43-inch vertical leap. It wasn't fair. Corners couldn't jump with him. Safeties couldn't catch him. He'd run a go route. The quarterback would throw it 50 yards downfield, and Moss would just take it from whoever was covering him. For 7 straight years in Minnesota, Moss was a terror. He caught more than 1,200 yards in each of his first 6 seasons, the first to ever accomplish that feat. He led the league in touchdown catches 3 times by age 26, and became one of the only receivers with 3 15-plus touchdown seasons. The Moon and the Legend. January 9, 2005, wild card playoff game at Lambeau Field. The Minnesota Vikings versus the Green Bay Packers, the bitterest rivalry in the NFC North. Earlier that season, Packers fans had mooned the Vikings team bus as it pulled into Lambeau. Randy Moss remembered. Fourth quarter, Vikings up 24-17. Dante Culpepper sees Moss in man coverage. You know what happens next. The ball goes up. Moss burns the corner. 34-yard touchdown. Game over. And then Moss turned around, faced the Lambeau crowd, and pretended to pull his pants down and moon them. Joe Buck on the broadcast. That is a disgusting act by Randy Moss.
That is a disgusting act by Randy Moss.
The NFL fined Moss $10,000. 4 days later, a reporter from KARE-TV asked Moss if he'd written the check yet. Moss looked at the camera and delivered 3 words that would live forever.
Straight cash, homie.
The phrase exploded. T-shirts, ESPN segments, social media. To this day, Randy Moss still signs autographs with "Straight cash, homie." The Vikings won that game 31-17. Oakland, the lost years. After the 2004 season, everything fell apart in Minnesota. Contract disputes, frustration. The Vikings traded Moss to the Oakland Raiders for a first-round pick. 2 years in Oakland. 2 wasted years. The Raiders were a mess. No quarterback, no coaching, no offensive line. Moss caught 60 passes for 553 yards and 3 touchdowns in 2006, the worst season of his career. People said he quit. People said he was done. People said he didn't care anymore. At 30 years old, Randy Moss looked finished. Then came the phone call that changed everything. 2007, the resurrection. Bill Belichick, the New England Patriots. They traded a 4th-round pick to Oakland for Randy Moss. The NFL laughed. Moss is washed. He's a cancer. He'll destroy the Patriots' locker room. Tom Brady didn't care. He called Moss immediately. They started working out together, throwing routes, building chemistry. And then the season started. Week 1 at the New York Jets. Moss, 9 catches, 183 yards, 1 touchdown. The Patriots beat the Jets 38-14, and the league began to take notice. Week 2 versus San Diego. Moss, 5 catches, 87 yards, 2 touchdowns. Patriots 38, Chargers 14. A statement game, destroying the Chargers who'd beaten them in the playoffs the year before. Week after week, Moss and Brady were surgical. No defense could stop them. The Patriots were scoring 40, 50 points a game. They were destroying everyone. Week 7 at Miami. Brady to Moss, 51 yards, touchdown. Patriots 49, Dolphins 28. The chase for the record was underway. The wins kept coming, week after week, blowout after blowout. The Patriots were unstoppable. By December, everyone knew what was happening. Randy Moss was chasing Jerry Rice's single-season touchdown record of 22, set in 1987, and the Patriots were chasing perfection. Week 17, the record. December 29, 2007, Patriots versus Giants, regular season finale. The Patriots were 15-0. 1 win away from the first undefeated 16-0 regular season in NFL history. And Moss was at 21 touchdowns, 1 away from tying Rice, 2 away from breaking the record. The game was tight. The Giants, the team that would haunt New England weeks later, played them tough. But then Brady and Moss connected. Touchdown, number 22, tied with Rice. Later in the game, Brady dropped back. He saw Moss. The ball went up. Touchdown. 23 receiving touchdowns, an NFL record. On the same play, Tom Brady threw his 50th touchdown pass of the season, also a record. The Patriots finished the regular season 16-0. They scored 589 points, obliterating the single-season record that Moss's 1998 Vikings had set. Moss caught 98 receptions for 1,493 yards. Pro Bowl, first-team All-Pro for the 4th time. The greatest offense in NFL history. Perfection. one game away from immortality. And then came February 3rd, 2008. Chapter 3, The Elusive Ring. Super Bowl 42, The Heartbreak. University of Phoenix Stadium, Glendale, Arizona. Super Bowl 42. The undefeated 18-0 New England Patriots versus the 10-6 New York Giants. The Patriots were 12-point favorites. This was supposed to be a coronation. The greatest team ever assembled. Brady, Moss, Belichick. Perfection chasing history. The game was a defensive slugfest, low scoring, tense. The Patriots' high-powered offense, which had averaged 37 points per game, was being smothered by the Giants' defense. They bracketed Moss all game, doubling him on every route. Fourth quarter, Patriots trailing 10-7. Then Brady to Moss, 6-yard touchdown. Patriots lead 14-10. 2 minutes 42 seconds left. The dream was alive. Perfection was 2 minutes and 42 seconds away. The Giants took over at their own 17-yard line. They had 83 yards to go. One timeout. The world watching. Eli Manning moved them downfield. First down after first down. Then 3rd and 5 from the Giants' 44-yard line. 1 minute 15 seconds remaining. Manning dropped back. The pocket collapsed. 3 Patriots defenders, Richard Seymour, Jarvis Green, and Adalius Thomas, had their hands on Manning. Seymour grabbed his jersey from behind. Green grabbed his shoulder. Manning should have gone down. The play should have been over. But somehow Manning twisted free. He ducked under the reaching arms, scrambled backward to the 34-yard line, and with linebacker Mike Vrabel bearing down on him, Manning heaved the ball downfield. David Tyree, a backup receiver who'd caught only 4 passes all season, leaped. Patriot safety Rodney Harrison was draped all over him, pulling down violently on his arm. In midair, Tyree reached up with his right hand and pinned the ball against his helmet. As he fell backward, the ball stayed glued to his helmet, inches from the turf. Harrison ripped at his arm, but Tyree held on. 32 yards. First down at the Patriots' 24-yard line. Fox announcer Troy Aikman. I don't know how he got out of there. The helmet catch, one of the most improbable plays in sports history. 4 plays later, with 35 seconds remaining, Manning threw a 13-yard touchdown pass to Plaxico Burress in the corner of the end zone. Giants 17, Patriots 14. The perfect season, gone. The championship, gone. Randy Moss stood on the field, stunned, hands on his helmet, staring at the scoreboard in disbelief. The greatest statistical season by a receiver in NFL history. 23 touchdowns, 98 catches, 1,493 yards, a perfect 16-0 regular season, and he'd lost the Super Bowl. On one impossible play, one escape, one catch against a helmet, history slipped through his fingers. The final chase, Moss stayed with the Patriots through 2010. More touchdowns, more records, but they never got back to the Super Bowl together. In 2010, he returned to Minnesota. One last shot with the Vikings. It didn't work. Then Tennessee for 4 games. Then retirement. But in 2012, at 35 years old, Randy Moss got one more call. The San Francisco 49ers. Colin Kaepernick, a loaded roster, a real chance. Moss had been lying low. Then, before Super Bowl 47, a reporter asked him where he ranked among all-time receivers. Moss's response? "I'm the greatest receiver to ever play this game." The media exploded. How dare he? Jerry Rice has 3 rings, but Moss didn't back down. Super Bowl 47, February 3rd, 2013, New Orleans. 49ers versus Baltimore Ravens. Randy Moss's second and final chance. It was close, back and forth. Moss had 2 catches for 41 yards, but the Ravens won 34-31. The championship slipped away again. Randy Moss retired for good after that season. 982 receptions, 15,292 receiving yards, 4th all-time. 156 touchdowns, 2nd all-time. 6 Pro Bowls, 4 first-team All-Pros, NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year, NFL Comeback Player of the Year 2007, until NFL 2000's All-Decade Team, NFL 100th Anniversary All-Time Team. 0 Super Bowl rings. Randy Moss was the most talented receiver who ever lived. The speed, the size, the hands, the leaping ability. He changed how the position was played. He made mossed a verb. He set records that may never be broken. But football is cruel. It doesn't care about talent. It cares about rings. 2 Super Bowls, 2 losses, no championships. And maybe that's what makes his story so tragic and so perfect. Because Randy Moss didn't need a ring to prove he was the greatest. Everyone who watched him knew. The way he'd run by corners like they were standing still. The way he'd snatch a ball out of the air over 3 defenders. The way he'd look at a safety, point downfield, and say, "I'm going deep," and the safety couldn't do a damn thing about it. There will never be another Randy Moss. If this story gave you chills, hit that subscribe button. Drop a comment with your favorite Moss moment. Was it the 2007 season? Straight cash, homie? Let us know. End Zone Exposed is where the truth always scores.